Have you ever wondered how much a worker in North Korea earns each month? $50? $100? $200? The truth will shock you. The average monthly salary is only $3 to $10 US. A factory worker lives on this symbolic income. Teachers earn slightly more. Even doctors, a respected profession in most countries, receive only a few dollars. And soldiers, one of the most important forces in the nation, also receive symbolic pay. What is surprising is that despite such extremely low wages, North Korean society still operates relatively steadily. The reason lies in state subsidies. Every family receives free housing, rice rations, cooking oil, electricity, education, and basic medical care. Thanks to this system, people can at least maintain a minimal standard of living. However, this system does not always work smoothly. Many families wait months to receive enough rice, and cooking oil is often in short supply. When supplies run out, people turn to the hangmadang black markets. These markets do not sell luxury goods. Instead, they offer everyday essentials like vegetables, dried fish, soap, clothing, medicine, and even imported items from China. Prices are higher than state rations, but when the government supply runs dry, hangmadang becomes the only lifeline. Daily life is also affected by constant power outages. Satellite images at night show North Korea almost completely dark, with only Pyongyang slightly lit. In rural areas, electricity may be available only a few hours a day. Students study under streetlights. Families use candles or oil lamps. Hot water is also a major challenge. Many people bathe in public bathhouses and heat water using coal, wood, or kerosene. In winter, when the temperature drops below zero, waiting in line to bathe becomes routine. Even with free housing, life remains difficult, restrictive, and dependent on luck. What do you think about daily life in North Korea? Share your thoughts below. If you think all Korean women have big round eyes, high noses, sharp V-shaped chins, and flawless white skin, you are not wrong. That image comes from modern beauty standards and the booming plastic surgery industry in South Korea. But if you want to see natural beauty, look toward North Korea, a place almost closed off from the outside world. Western culture, modern beauty trends, and digital influence barely exist there. North Korean women retain traditional genetic features: almond-shaped eyes, delicate noses, and naturally fair skin. Their fashion is modest and elegant: long skirts, long sleeves, high collars, and neutral colors. There was even a time when women were banned from wearing pants because Kim Il-sung believed trousers were only for men. As a result, skirts became mandatory, from workwear to traditional outfits. It was only under Kim Jong-un that women were officially allowed to wear pants again. Marriage laws are also strict. Women usually marry early, often right after turning 20. Being single at 30 is extremely rare. Divorce rates are very low, not because everyone is perfectly happy, but because culture does not accept separation easily. In relationships, women are often passive, letting men make decisions, from confession to wedding plans. And if you dream of dating a North Korean woman, marrying her, and bringing her to your home country, it is almost impossible. The government tightly controls marriage to protect pure blood and ensure loyalty to future generations. There was even a real case where a couple could only marry after an official request from the president of Vietnam. Loving a North Korean woman is not difficult. The hard part is getting permission to marry her. Would you dare to try your luck? North Korea is one of the most control-obsessed countries on the planet. Here, people cannot access the global internet. They only use an internal network monitored by the state. They cannot make international calls. They cannot freely leave the country without permission. And they cannot even choose any hairstyle they like. Only 28 approved styles are allowed. It sounds extreme, but that is just the surface of a much deeper system. Control begins the moment a child is born. Every citizen is placed into the songbun system, a social classification based on family background. If you are born into a loyal family, you are fortunate. You receive better education, better job opportunities, and a more comfortable life. But if your background is considered undesirable, your fate is almost decided. Limited schooling, manual labor, and even relocation to poor rural zones. In school, besides normal subjects, children must study politics and are constantly taught to admire their leaders. Books, TV, and radio are all controlled by the government. Many people even believe there is only one Korea, because all maps they see exclude South Korea entirely. When you become an adult, you do not choose your career. The state chooses for you. If you want to change jobs, you must pay bribes or accept your assigned role, just like thousands of young people who were once sent to remote mountains to plant potatoes, living as farmers for life. Love and marriage are also supervised. People from higher social classes can only marry within their class. And emotions are not free either. During state funerals or leader appearances, everyone must cry. If your tears look fake or insufficient, there can be serious consequences. Can you imagine living in a place where every decision about your life is made by someone else? Try to picture it and share your thoughts. In North Korea, many things the rest of the world considers normal simply do not exist. Most people have never heard of Coca-Cola. McDonald's? They have never seen it. A real American hamburger exists only in imagination. If you walk into a store, you may see a soda that looks like Coke, but the label says Cocoa. It is sweet and fizzy, but completely different from any soda you know. There is a hamburger too. A small bun, a thin slice of meat, well-cooked vegetables, and a light mayonnaise-style sauce. It looks similar, but the taste is totally different. Self-reliance is the rule of the nation. Anything from the outside must be copied in their own way. Different taste, different look, different quality. And if they cannot produce it, it simply does not exist. Jeans? Rare and once banned for being a symbol of capitalism. Even today, ripped jeans or bright sneakers stand out like something from another world. Women face special challenges. Pads, tampons, and personal hygiene products are almost never found in stores. The economy focuses on heavy industry, weapons, and defense, while consumer goods are ignored. Pads exist in the black market, but are expensive, so many women still use reusable traditional cloth. Condoms are nearly impossible to find because the government encourages population growth. As for modern technology, forget iPhones, Samsung phones, or MacBooks. People only use domestic brands like Arirang, Hyundai, or Pyongyang, simple devices with built-in censorship that monitor activity and block forbidden content. North Korea, a place where many everyday things you take for granted simply do not exist. Everyone knows North Korea and South Korea are enemies like fire and water. One side makes chilling statements like, "With one button, we can erase South Korea from the map." The other responds with joint military drills and advanced defense systems. But beyond the usual shows of force, sometimes their conflict takes a very strange and surprising turn. While North Korea threatens nuclear weapons, South Korea uses a different tactic, one that is subtle, creative, and surprisingly powerful. K-pop music. Yes, K-pop. The South Korean military placed huge speakers along the border, up to 6 meters tall and 3 meters wide, loud enough to be heard more than 20 kilometers inside North Korea. These speakers broadcast world news, messages about democracy, calls for reunification, and of course, hit songs from idol groups, full of energy and lyrics about freedom and rebellion. The goal is simple: to show North Korean soldiers and citizens the difference between the two worlds. It sounds funny, but the effect is real. Some soldiers became disheartened. Some even risked their lives to defect, just to hear K-pop freely. North Korea reacted harshly, executing anyone caught spreading South Korean music, calling it corrupt culture that destroys socialist ideals. North Korea did not stay silent. They set up their own speakers, blasting revolutionary anthems praising the regime and criticizing South Korea. Imagine living near the border and hearing a daily sound war, one side blasting bright K-pop, the other playing solemn propaganda music. When relations improved, South Korea even sent artists to perform in Pyongyang. But despite upbeat music and applause, North Korean leaders sat stiffly, clapping at the end of each song like programmed machines. When tensions rose again, South Korea launched balloons carrying leaflets, USB drives with TV shows and K-pop, and even US dollars into the north. North Korea responded by sending thousands of balloons filled with trash, nearly 15 tons, with some landing near the presidential compound. A war of music, balloons, and garbage, strange, symbolic, and unlike any battle you have seen. What do you think about this unusual kind of warfare? North Korea calls itself a socialist republic, but in reality, it operates like a royal dynasty in the 21st century. Power is not elected. It is inherited, passed from father to son like a sacred throne. First Kim Il-sung, then Kim Jong-il, and now Kim Jong-un. Today, the world is watching his daughter, Kim Joo-ae. She is very young, yet she appears with her father at major events, military parades, missile test visits, and national ceremonies. State media calls her esteemed, a title normally reserved only for the supreme leader. Many believe Kim Joo-ae is being groomed as the future heir, the next ruler of North Korea. Like any traditional dynasty, strict rules apply. Naming your child after the leader is forbidden, considered disrespectful. The nation also uses the Yuche calendar, which starts not from the birth of Christ, but from the birth year of Kim Il-sung, 1912. That means the year 2025 in the outside world is Juche year 114 in Pyongyang. Not only power and law resemble feudal tradition, even protection of the leader follows ancient patterns. Kim Jong-un's elite bodyguards come from families loyal to the regime for generations, trained to keep exact formation around him, forming a moving human shield. It looks like royal guards escorting an emperor in ancient Asia. And like historic royal courts, struggle for power can be deadly. In 2013, Jang Song-thaek, Kim Jong-un's uncle, was executed for alleged treason. In 2017, Kim Jong-nam, the leader's half-brother, was killed at Kuala Lumpur Airport with VX nerve agent, dying in less than 20 minutes. Many experts believe it was ordered to eliminate any threat to the dynasty. So, will Kim Joo-ae become North Korea's first female ruler? The future of this modern-day royal line remains uncertain. What do you think will happen? It may sound like a threat, but in reality, the idea that North Korea could wipe out South Korea with one button is not impossible. Since 2006, this isolated nation has carried out multiple successful nuclear tests. The bomb tested in 2017 was believed to be several times stronger than the one that destroyed Hiroshima. No one knows the exact power, but the fact that a poor nation holds a weapon capable of leveling a city is enough to make the world tremble. Even the United States takes North Korea's strength seriously. But nuclear weapons are only the tip of the iceberg. What truly makes North Korea terrifying is its massive military. With more than 1.3 million active soldiers, North Korea ranks among the top 3 militaries in the world by size, behind only China and the United States, despite having a much smaller population. On top of that, the country has 5 to 7 million members in its worker and peasant Red Guard, and another 600,000 reservists. In an emergency, nearly 8 million people could be mobilized. That means about 3 out of every 10 citizens are ready to take up arms, whether they are factory workers, farmers, or even kindergarten teachers. Behind these numbers is one of the strictest military service systems on Earth. Men must serve up to 10 years. In the past, it could be as long as 13. Women serve 7 years if they meet health requirements. In North Korea, youth equals military duty. Training starts early, even in school. Primary students practice marching, standing at attention, and parade drills. In middle and high school, they learn shooting, grenade throwing, long-distance marching, and complete a military boot camp course before entering society. With iron discipline and military indoctrination from childhood, it is no surprise North Korea has become one of the most intimidating war machines in Asia. Pyongyang is not only the capital, but also the largest and most populated city in North Korea, home to about 3 million people, nearly 12% of the nation. But living here is not a right. To reside in Pyongyang, you need more than a registered address. You must have a flawless political background. Only those who are absolutely loyal to the regime are allowed to live in the capital, making residence here a rare privilege. The city stands out with monumental and modern structures. The Ryugyong Hotel rises 105 floors high, once designed to be the tallest hotel in the world, yet famous for being nearly empty. The Arch of Triumph here is taller than the one in Paris. The Yuche Tower, standing 170 meters high, symbolizes the nation's ideology. The Rungrado Mayday Stadium, the largest stadium on Earth with 150,000 seats, hosts military parades, mass festivals, and grand choreography shows. Even underground, Pyongyang is unique. The metro system has 2 lines, with stations decorated with chandeliers, murals, and polished marble pillars. Some stations are more than 100 meters deep, acting as transport hubs and emergency shelters. Compared to rural areas, the capital shines brightly. Electricity is nearly constant, enough for satellites to spot its lights at night. Life operates with strict discipline. Around 6 a.m., revolutionary songs play through loudspeakers instead of alarm clocks. People dress neatly, travel to work and school in orderly fashion. In the morning, citizens exercise in parks. In the evening, people gather for group dances in public squares, joining in across all ages. Pyongyang is orderly, strict, and synchronized in a way rarely seen. The rhythm of life is steady, without chaos, but every street, every building, and every activity reflects power, discipline, and tight state control. Pyongyang may be one of the few capitals in the world where you can stand in the middle of a massive multi-lane boulevard and see almost no cars in sight. Here, cars are nearly an absolute privilege, reserved mostly for officials, military personnel, and a small group of people with special connections. Ordinary citizens do not dream of owning one. Prices are many times higher than average income, and strict permits make car ownership even more unattainable. As a result, instead of chaotic traffic jams like in other major cities, Pyongyang's roads feel wide and almost empty. Most residents rely on public transportation. Buses and trolleybuses are always packed, from the moment they open until they close, crowded non-stop. The underground metro system is the busiest of all. People line up in long queues and squeeze into the trains, where finding an empty seat is a rare luxury. Many trains are old, some originally from East Germany, but they continue to run steadily, serving as the lifeline for getting to work or school. Alongside buses and trains, bicycles play a crucial role. In the past, women were banned from riding bicycles because it was considered improper, but that rule has since been lifted. Today, bicycles are everywhere, affordable, practical, and essential in a city where fuel is always limited. Pyongyang streets do not rely heavily on traffic lights. Instead, female traffic officers in blue uniforms and white boots direct vehicles with precise, synchronized movements. About 300 officers work at major intersections. The selection process is extremely strict. They must be single, between 16 and 26 years old, 1.63 to 1.65 meters tall. High school graduates in excellent health and considered attractive by local standards. From the outside, Pyongyang appears orderly and disciplined, with its iconic traffic policewomen standing as symbols of authority and flawless state control, reinforcing a sense of order even in its traffic system. When people think about traveling to North Korea, most only picture Pyongyang. But the country offers many places that are both impressive in nature and rich in history. One of the most remarkable destinations is Kaesong, located near the South Korean border. This city was once the capital of the Koryo Kingdom and still protects many ancient sites. Travelers can explore royal tombs, traditional wooden houses over 600 years old, and especially the Koryo History Museum. The museum displays countless valuable artifacts and takes you back to the golden era of ancient Korea. Kaesong is also famous for traditional dining experiences. Meals often include more than 10 small dishes served in elegant bowls, offering a unique and memorable taste of local culture. Not far from Kaesong lies the demilitarized zone, also known as the DMZ. This is one of the most iconic and tightly controlled borders in the world. Visitors can step inside the Panmunjom conference room, where historic negotiations took place. With only a few steps, you stand on the border between two nations once divided by war. For nature lovers, Mount Myeohyang is a perfect retreat. It is known for white waterfalls, mysterious caves, and fresh mountain air. Here you will also find the International Friendship Exhibition, home to tens of thousands of gifts from world leaders and global organizations. It offers a rare combination of hiking and cultural discovery. Another highlight is Mount Kumgang, also called the Lover's Mountain. It is famous for beautiful landscapes in every season: red autumn leaves, white winter snow, clear lakes, and ancient temples along peaceful mountain trails. Further north, near the borders with Russia and China, lies the city of Rasan. This special economic zone feels lively and international. Outdoor markets sell seafood, vegetables, and electronics. Visitors can pay in Russian rubles, Chinese yuan, or US dollars because local currency is not used by foreigners. North Korea combines history, culture, and dramatic nature. For those who are curious, it is a destination that leaves strong and unforgettable impressions. Lake Cheon, hidden in the Chilbo Mountains of North Hamgyong Province, is a small volcanic lake filled with mystery. Surrounded by steep cliffs and rugged slopes that look like stone sculptures, it immediately captures attention. The lake water is clear, but during heavy rain, it often turns red or gray. Locals believe the lake holds powerful secrets below its calm surface. Some lucky travelers have witnessed strange phenomena. On still days, concentric circles sometimes appear on the lake surface, as if something moves deep beneath. North Korean scientists suggest the cause may be leftover volcanic gases, but no detailed research has been released. Some South Korean geologists believe the lake is connected to ancient magma channels, causing sudden changes in water and minerals. The lack of international study only adds to the mystery, attracting explorers and curious minds. Farther north rises Mount Paektu, the highest volcano on the Korean peninsula. At its summit sits Lake Cheonji, a massive crater lake. The water level sometimes rises more than a meter within days and then drops quickly. The water color can shift from deep blue to cloudy gray, as if unseen forces disturb the lake from below. Monitoring reports since 2002 have recorded continuous small tremors and deep rumbling sounds, similar to distant explosions, suggesting underground magma remains active. Paektu is not only a geological wonder, but also a sacred symbol in Korean mythology. Stories of national origins blend with science and nature. Strange water levels at Lake Cheonji, echoes from within the mountain. And breathtaking scenery make Paektu one of the most mysterious and enchanting destinations in North Korea. One of the most iconic dishes in North Korea is naengmyeon, also known as cold noodles. This is a famous summer dish that surprises anyone who tries it. The noodles are made from buckwheat or potato flour. They are long, chewy, and served in a cold broth made from beef or chicken. Sometimes a little kimchi juice is added to give a refreshing sour note. On top of the bowl, you will find slices of cooked meat, half a boiled egg, shredded cucumber, and a piece of fresh pear. The colors and flavors come together perfectly. The long noodles symbolize long life, and before eating, the host often uses scissors to cut them for easy enjoyment. With its cool and savory taste, this dish is a perfect choice for summer gatherings, especially when welcoming important guests. Another beloved dish is bulgogi, the famous marinated and grilled beef found throughout the Korean peninsula. Thin slices of beef are soaked in soy sauce, garlic, onion, sesame oil, and a little sugar, then grilled over charcoal or on a hot pan. The sweet aroma spreads through the air. The meat is tender and juicy, and is often wrapped in lettuce with perilla leaves, roasted garlic, and fermented soybean paste. It is not only delicious, but also a symbol of hospitality, because beef is considered a valuable ingredient reserved for special occasions. Sharing bulgogi around a grill, talking and passing pieces to each other, shows the strong communal spirit in Korean dining culture. Another traditional highlight is taeok, or rice cakes, often seen during festivals, birthdays, weddings, and harvest celebrations. They are made from glutinous rice pounded into a smooth dough, shaped and steamed. Some varieties are coated in bean powder or filled with red beans or chestnuts. The texture is stretchy and soft. The gentle sweetness and pure white color represent purity and good fortune. A tray of colorful rice cakes on the table is not only beautiful, but also brings a warm and respectful feeling to the celebration. From refreshing naengmyeon to sweet and aromatic bulgogi to elegant taeok, North Korean cuisine blends refinement, tradition, and culture. Each meal becomes a memorable experience. One of the most vibrant and grand festivals in North Korea is the Day of the Sun, held every year on April 15th to celebrate the birthday of Kim Il-sung, the nation's founder. On this day, large squares transform into enormous stages. Parades, group dances, and artistic performances attract thousands of participants. People carry traditional notebooks and colorful artificial flowers to form huge images, while fireworks light up the Pyongyang sky and concerts are broadcast nationwide. The festive atmosphere spreads throughout the country, from the capital to small towns, with impressive coordination. Everyone involved feels a sense of unity and collective pride. Another special cultural festival is the Kimilsungia Flower Festival, also held in April, dedicated to the orchid known as Kimilsungia, originally from Indonesia. Hundreds of thousands of flower pots are displayed in large exhibition halls. They are arranged to form letters, national symbols, and grand floral scenes, including Mount Pektu. Factories, schools, and organizations participate, turning the event into a creative competition. Walking into this space full of color and fragrance feels like entering a world of delicate floral art. In autumn, the Arirang Mass Games reach their artistic peak. They take place at Rungrado Mayday Stadium, which can hold more than 100,000 people. Tens of thousands of performers move together in enormous synchronized displays, while students in the stands hold colored cards that shift in unison, creating huge living images of landscapes, national symbols, and everyday life. The theme focuses on history, the desire for peace, and national pride. Expressed through music, dance, and light, the flawless precision and massive scale earned Arirang a place in the Guinness World Records as one of the greatest mass performances ever created. When traveling in North Korea, the first thing to remember is that all activities are closely controlled by local guides. There are usually 2 guides accompanying the group, and you are strictly not allowed to leave the group or walk around alone, even near your hotel. This rule ensures visitors only enter approved areas, avoid direct contact with local residents, and do not take photos in restricted places. There have been cases where curious tourists left their group and were immediately asked to return, sometimes even required to write a report explaining their behavior. If you are used to independent travel, be prepared to fully follow the fixed itinerary. During meals, pay attention to how food is served. Dishes are prepared equally for the whole group, with no personal customization. Requesting changes may put staff in an uncomfortable situation. Some travelers bring snacks like cookies or chocolate, but it is best to enjoy them in your hotel room or with your tour group. Sharing food with locals may be considered inappropriate. Shopping is also a unique experience. Tourists are only allowed to enter stores designated for foreigners, not local supermarkets. Prices and products in these shops are specially arranged, almost like a stage set for visitors, very different from real life outside. Be ready to experience everything in the way North Korea wants to present it, and always act carefully and respectfully. Following the rules is the key to a smooth and safe trip. Traveling to North Korea is often more expensive than visiting other destinations because international tourists must join an organized tour. A basic 4 to 5 day package usually costs around $1,000 to $2,000, covering most necessary services. A standard tour includes hotel accommodation, meals, transportation inside the country, and entrance fees to attractions. Guests usually stay at 3 or 4-star hotels in Pyongyang, with basic amenities and limited entertainment. If you choose higher-end hotels, such as the Koryo or Yanggakdo, the tour cost increases by a few $100s. Meals are mostly traditional dishes served with a fixed menu. If calculated separately, the value ranges from $10 to $100 per meal, depending on the type. Imported drinks or foreign alcohol are more expensive. A bottle of local beer costs about $3 to $5, while a small bottle of imported liquor may reach $30. Transportation is usually by bus or private vehicle and is included in the tour package. International flights to Pyongyang usually depart from Beijing, costing around $600 to $800 round trip. Entrance fees are included, but special experiences, such as hiking in Myeonghyang or visiting themed museums, may cost an extra $30 to $50. Internet access is extremely limited. Hotel Wi-Fi is almost non-existent, and the only option is purchasing a 3G international SIM card, costing around $200 for a small data package. Additional expenses often include souvenirs such as stamps, posters, and handicrafts, usually priced at $50 to $100 each. In total, a 5-day trip generally ranges from $1,500 to $2,000, depending on how you spend. These facts provide a more realistic perspective on North Korea, a destination full of mystery. If you find this information helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future journeys. Out of these 15 facts about North Korea, which one impressed you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Note: all information is for reference only. Please research carefully before making any travel decisions. See you again in the next adventure.